Well, that's obviously going to end badly, isn't it? Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I've got some crazy venomous snake clips lined up for you. I'm going to break them down in the most educational way I possibly can, but as always I'm hoping to hear from you in the comments. Let's dive in. Man, that can't be worth the risk. So that was a Russell's Viper. I've got to say, I can only imagine that would be instant burning pain in your finger.
This is the snake that walks. It's a gaboon viper, and they don't slither like a normal snake. They'll use their ribs to pull their body forward in a walking motion. It's called rectilinear locomotion, and it's disturbing.
Rectilinear locomotion is kind of cool because it makes the snake look like a big caterpillar, makes it look all cute and cuddly when it's actually extremely dangerous. But more to the point, on that clip, what impressed me was if you look at the flanks of that snake, the pattern and the colour, that is just a really vibrant, healthy animal. That guy really knows how to care for them and he's doing something right.
That is the last danger noodle you want to make angry. Let me tell you something. Meet the king cobra. You can only find them in Asia, and it's the largest venomous snake on planet Earth, getting up to 20 feet long. That's 3 copies of LeBron James stacked on top of each other. No thank you. But the crazy part is they're not actually a species of cobra at all. They get the name king cobra because their primary food source is other smaller cobras. They eat cobras. I would put that on my resume. But it's not just cobras. They'll eat all kinds of snakes, including various pit vipers, banded kraits, pythons. In fact, there was one documented case of one consuming a reticulated python. That's a reticulated python. Mix all of that with the fact that when they bite, they deliver enough venom to take down a full-grown elephant, and you'll understand why they're in a class of their own. Moral of the story, there's snakes, there's venomous snakes, and then there's the king.
Okay, how many mistakes did we see in that clip? Because I make it at least 3 or 4.
So a lot of people think that this is chasing, but this is actually a defensive measure. Watch this, I'll stand still. So once I stand still, no longer mean a threat to the snake, and off she goes.
There you saw Sunny Coast snake catchers demonstrating the defense posture of the eastern brown snake. It's a bluff. It doesn't really want to bite. It wants you to go away basically or stop whatever you're doing, and they demonstrated that just absolutely perfectly. They're providing educational material and they're going out and saving snakes in precarious positions with humans. So they're really doing good work all round. Now this clip is fascinating and I'm really hoping that for a few of you at least, this will be the first time you see this. So there you can see a California king snake and a regal ringneck snake. King snake's already looking a bit odd in its behaviour, if you ask me. Now let's carry on watching and see what happens. You can see the king snake is not acting right. The way it's navigating that plant, something is going on. And what has actually happened is it's been envenomated.
What? Oh.
It's one of those deals where it's a snake that's not poisonous to us, but it's poisonous to other snakes.
What you are witnessing is a ringneck snake preying on the king snake. The king snake, which we're always told is called the king because it preys on other snakes, and it is being preyed on by another snake. So king snakes have proteins in their blood serum that bind to rattlesnake enzymes and toxins, and stop rattlesnake venom from damaging their tissues. And that's where they get this famous immunity from, and that's why they love to eat rattlesnakes and they get away with it. They're almost completely immune to their venom. However, that was a regal ringneck snake. Regal ringneck snakes are the largest subspecies of ringneck snake. They're also the one that's most adapted to arid regions, and they also have a venom which is specifically designed to target other reptiles, and they've got a very ophiophagous kind of diet. They eat a lot of other snakes. So the king snake, despite being, the king snake, doesn't have immunity to regal ringneck snake venom. This is a really weird case because the ringneck won't be able to prey on an adult king snake because it would simply be too big. But younger and smaller king snakes are very, very prone to its venom. Ah yes, the old poke your tongue out at a cobra until it bites it trick. Really pleases the crowd, that one.
So this is a Javan king cobra. Of course, king cobras are the biggest venomous snake in the world. They can get up to 18 feet in length. He has mouth open. He is not playing. He can't see real good, so he's afraid of everything. Even if he's very chill around people, he's not going to be chill today. Look at that. He's charging me a little bit. Look at that. He is a good-looking dude. He's a little skinny. We need to get his weight up. Once he gets out of shed and eats a few times, he'll probably be a pretty good-looking specimen. Definitely has some length on him. I'm sitting here like, man, I wish I was just a couple inches taller. And he poops. He's a pooper. He is pooping all over the place, making it rain, and not in a good way. That is smelly. That stinks. Now it's on my hand. Great. I'm going to shut that door so he doesn't come back on me because he'll probably charge me here.
A lot of snakes do that. They'll poop at you or musk at you. And honestly, even if it's a venomous snake, it is distracting. It can really stink. It can stink if it gets on your fingers. It can stink for days. And it genuinely breaks your concentration. Particularly the grass snakes we've got in the UK here. They're just awful. But I mean, yeah. When a snake's caught, it'll go for any tactic it can. By the way, if you are enjoying this video and you want to make me happy, please do like and subscribe because that stuff really helps the channel. Thank you.
Yeah, that guy just let a black mamba bite him. But why? Don't do this, by the way. Well, we've talked about venoms and what they do and how they do it, but how do you get saved once you're bit by a venomous snake? Well, the answer is anti-venom.
Well, actually, it's anti-venin.
Tomato, tomato, you know what I mean. Think of venom like a virus. When a virus gets in you, your body makes antibodies that go in and fight off the infection. We put the venom into a sheep or a horse or something that can handle the effects of the venom. You then collect some of the blood that has this venom antibody in it. You clean it up and purify it, and voila, anti-venom. This guy basically ran guinea pig on himself. A horse. Slowly building up a tolerance over time.
The guy building up a tolerance is Tim Freedy. Some people call him Venom Man. Which is confusing because there's another guy in these videos called Venom Man. But anyway, I did a video about him. I'll link it in the description. And he did basically build up a very good immunity, definitely to elapids. He also claims to have a good immunity to viperids, but I can't confirm that. I know he did use a few viperids. Anyway, when it comes to the term anti-venin and anti-venom, it's quite funny because he's doing a little jab back at people that nitpick him. I've seen a couple of people nitpick his channel. You can say either. Both are correct in English. It's totally fine. Who cares? You know, when you get pedantic about stuff, you just take the fun out of things. Anti-venin is an older term. It's still used by some American manufacturers and it's still used regularly in the States. Anti-venom is more worldwide and it's a newer term, but both are technically correct. What we're looking at here is a guy supposedly with a very, very tame, what looks to be a kind of West African variant of forest cobra, and the snake is acting very, very docile and very malleable. At the end, he picks up the cobra, shows off its fang to show it's not a venomoid or whatever, and you think, wow, this is amazing, then he's tamed a cobra. But when you look again at the clip, I see something I really don't like. That is the fact that the cobra's spine is sticking out, and you see these two muscle ridges either side of the spine sticking out. They're quite visible. So these muscles are part of the apaxial musculature, you call it, so they're mostly like the semispinalis complex and the multifidus, probably a couple others I don't remember as well. But the main thing you need to remember is that when the snake is healthy, when it's a healthy weight, these muscles do have a little bit of fat around them and they're a little bit bulkier. And the whole profile looks different when the snake is a healthy weight. When you can see him like that and you can see the spine, you can tell this snake is underweight, it's sick, it's either got an illness or it's not feeding properly because maybe it is actually a venomoid, maybe it's had the glands removed, we don't know. But something is up, it's not normal.
This is Shiv Shukla. He's a researcher trying to save Florida's snakes from a deadly disease. Oh, almost. He's testing for Ophidiomyces ophidicula, a pathogen which causes a fatal fungal disease in the reptiles. Yeah, that's wild.
Let's go all over the body, back as well as the ventral. And the PCRs that we use are very sensitive, so if the disease is on there, if the pathogen is there, we'll be able to detect it.
Okay. It's an understudied and emerging peril to Florida's native snakes. We're in the University of South Florida's Forest Preserve, one of the last remaining wildlife habitats in Tampa.
There is a similar fungus that affects frogs. It's called the chytrid fungus. That's a very, very big issue and like a confirmed conservation threat. It's caused population declines and extinctions all over the world. And that's sort of like the starting point to a lot of these diseases. And now people are expanding like us, and we're looking at the fungi that's affecting snakes to see does it have similar implications as we know the chytrid fungus did in frogs.
The Ophidiomyces fungus is a keratinophilic fungus which breaks down basically keratin, so hair, scales and skin. And what it does is it attacks the snake's head mainly. It looks a lot like scale rot. An analogue for humans would be ringworm, for example. That's a related kind of fungus. And eventually it leads to systemic infections and it will kill the snake. There's people saying that it's due to climate change, warmer winters, damper conditions, allowing it to grow even when the snakes are in brumation. Other people are saying it's changes to how you use the habitat, dwindling habitats and snakes being in closer contact and competing for small areas of habitat. Whichever the case, we know that it's similar to the chytrid fungus in action, which has wiped out many frog species around the world, or at least decimated their populations. And really, overall, it does seem to be spreading worldwide. It was first detected in the US, but then it's been detected in Asia, Europe, and elsewhere. And long term, we don't actually know what's going to happen.
Don't ever try this. So I'm going to show you. There you go. See those fangs? That's what makes these so deadly. Because the rattle has no venom in them. Sometimes people talk like the rattle has venom in them. But look at this. See this right here? This is how they venomize you. They bite down, and when they bite down, the venom comes out of that right there. It comes right out of that little piece right there, and I'm telling you, don't ever do this.
There we saw perhaps the most hated man in the reptile business, using his big sausage fingers to squash the life out of a rattlesnake in some attempt to be educational. As this clip plays, I want to explain why I'm playing it again, as it was already in last week's video. Now, these are snake-proof gloves, distributed by Mike Perry, and manufactured by a company called Premium Security. Last week I stated the norm for things like this, that they're guaranteed for one incident, kind of like a bulletproof vest, and I was completely wrong. The company reached out and said no, they are good for multiple usages, multiple bites, and all I can do now is apologise really, because when you do mess up, you have to be a big boy and apologise. So I will put up a link to Mike Perry's website, you can check them out, you can buy them, they're not a one-time thing. And I hope they won't bear a grudge now. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little secret. When a snake is making that noise, it means it's not enjoying what is happening. That was the guy, of course, who got in trouble recently for beating up a crocodile in Australia for some strange reason, I'm not sure why. We always see this stuff framed as educational, and you even see people in the comments going, oh, thank God there's people like you going out there and educating us about these animals, but I'm still wondering where the education begins. I'm quite happy to see an educational documentary of a cobra foraging, finding food, breeding, exploring its habitat, showing us behaviors that really kind of spark fascination rather than fear.
What's up, guys? David Oren here. Dream come true tonight. A large adult western diamondback rattlesnake, and what I'm about to do is something which I've already started practice off camera, which is picking up this guy and getting a feel for how docile he is. Turns out he's pretty docile enough to put around my neck even. He's not a pet or anything. This is a wild animal we just found crossing the road out here in Texas, but his behavior is nothing short of just exceptional. Such a gentle and just wonderful animal, man. I'm just so thankful to be out here and be able just to enjoy time with this creature. We're gonna move him off the road and let him keep cruising along. Definitely don't try this at home. But wow, what a special experience. I'll set him down here. You can watch him so that tell me that isn't the coolest thing. Look at him go. He's just, wow, that is so cool. Bye, Mr. Diamondback.
Well, that was unbelievably reckless. Also, I thought in Texas you had to have like a high-vis jacket and a permit to go road cruising now and collect herps. Or maybe I got that wrong, I'm not sure. Anyway, I was about to say something really dumb and say that's an accident waiting to happen, this guy, but he already had an accident. He's a kid that got bit in the leg by an eastern diamondback.
Unfortunately, this is something I see all too often. Just a snake in the road with its head just gone. This is done out of a misunderstanding of venomous snakes and snakes in general. We're not protecting anything by just killing snakes, and let me explain why. If we want to go by raw data, about 8,000 people are bitten in the United States a year by a venomous snake. But according to the CDC itself, only about 5 of those people die, and that's because our medical care here is fantastic. This is data from 1990 to 2009, but about 44 people died in the United States due to a venomous snake. Wild, that is. 16 died because of a captive venomous snake. This also includes religious ceremonies. On top of this, no one has ever been reported to have died because of a pygmy rattlesnake bite. It's not a pleasant experience to get bit by one, but it's not a pleasant experience to get attacked by a bear either. We don't just kill every single one of those we see out in the wild. It's an old habit that needs to change.
I think it's important to tell people when they say, you know, I kill snakes when they come into my yard, etc., to protect my family and all that kind of stuff. Like, you can't kill all the snakes. There's still going to be more out there, and they're going to keep coming back. And more to the point, those snakes, if you don't kill them, they're out doing work for you. They're killing rodents and other pests and potentially controlling disease in your area as well by getting rid of those pests. So you've got an animal that if you can just leave it alone and just design your yard a little bit differently so there's not hiding places and stuff, it will be out there doing work for you for free. Anyway, that was the video for today. I hope there were some fun facts in there. There was some pretty crazy stuff, so I'm interested to see what you say in the comments. Thank you very much.